Welcome to the Nostalgia Hunters, episode 1, with our host Chris. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I'm
Chris.
happy
Chris.
to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
We got a special treat for you guys. In our first episode, we're going to be going over the Mandolorian episode 9. We thought it was fantastic. We have a lot to say about it. And here we go.
Just finished with the episode 9 of The Mandalorian, and it blew my mind. I have Dustin here from the Harry Man Show, and we're going to go over the spoilers and different things that we've seen that was the...
Well, first, right off the bat, looks like Mandalorian put on some weight on him, though. His armor looked a lot beefier in the chest and the legs as well.
We were discussing that. The dude looks like Batman.
Yeah, he was doing that grapple, kind of that wrestling low to the ground kind of fighting.
No, he definitely looks jacked. It was exciting to see him.
I don't know if he added that armor. Is that was just some,
that armor's on steroids.
Pumping some iron.
Yeah.
But one thing I'd say right at the bat, they didn't really include the child too much in this one.
No, it's okay. It's not like they really needed him in this one. I think the Mandalorian handled his shit in this episode.
It's not. I'm not saying that. I just mean they kind of veered off to him just to kind of give you comic relief in a tense moment.
Yeah, I sense that a little bit.
And the way the episode drops you off, what planet do you think that was?
In the beginning?
Yeah.
That I have no idea.
They didn't really clarify on that too much, and him going back to Tatooine was a pretty cool thing. And they did do a little bit of a trickster move on us where we thought someone wasn't going to show up, but we'll get into that a little bit. But
yeah, definitely. That was they threw me for a loop on that one.
Oh, we'll just jump into that. Speaking of that character, this first time I'm really heard. I mean, I've been a Star Wars fan my whole life, but my first time I ever heard of that character.
Not gonna lie, I heard about him 2 days ago, and I've been doing research about him ever since. And then I didn't know he was going to show up on the show, and then there he was. So,
but in a good way, though. I mean, I think this is going to be like a keeper. Just like the other characters that came across in previous episodes. That he goes back and
I think he's going to be a one-off. I just think it was like a throwback to the books. And then you won't see him again.
And one thing I pointed out, that actor Timothy Olyphant, I could probably not saying his last name right, but he's in a show called U.S. Marshal, and he's referred to the Marshal on the show.
Is it weird that I never heard about that show?
It's an excellent show. It's like a modern day Western.
I'm gonna definitely.
This is obviously a Western as well.
You know what? I think I remember seeing ads about it, and you're saying it's a good show, and every recommendation you've had so far.
A modern day Chuck Norris show.
I'm gonna check it out.
You'll like it. I mean, yeah, it's a great show. I think he's going to be more involved, honestly. I think there's a lot of lore that can be kind of brought up with him, but...
I don't know, man. I just see it being like a throwback to the Expanded Universe fans, and that's it.
Really? All right, so going forward with it, he does have a certain person armor that he shows up with, and his silhouette makes you believe that it's that person.
We're jumping right into this?
Yeah, just go for it, man.
right off the deep end. Awesome. It's Boba Fett's armor.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was dumbfounded. I mean, I knew he was going to show up. Somebody was going to show up in Boba Fett's armor. And I thought it was going to be Boba Fett. Like I said before, I didn't know much about Cobb Vanth. So it's exciting. It's a little twist, And
then the standoff, though, do you think he was actually going to go through with it, or are you trying to fake out the Mandalorian?
I don't know.
You think that was just a luck of the draw?
Like somebody was intervening, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not really going to happen between you two.
And speaking of what showed up, that was the first time I've seen it in a movie or a show, but a throwback to episode 1 of the game, which I used to play on the PC. That dragon was actually a side mission you had to fight.
That's what you were telling me, yeah. I've never seen Crate Dragon in any of the movies.
They kind of refer to it as a legend through some of the books and stuff. And I haven't read all the books, obviously, but yeah, that was kind of cool to see that.
The thing looked awesome. I mean, it's very intimidating.
Trimmer vibes.
Yeah, Tremor vibes.
I was waiting for Kevin Bacon to show up.
Coming out of the cantina.
So yeah, I mean, instantly, as soon as they kind of get acquainted with that situation, the character development kind of jumps right off the wagon with Cobb.
Oh yeah, you definitely get a sense of who he is and what he represents, and the throwback to when the Death Star blew up. Nice little toss in, very informative.
It gave you a very good time frame,
Oh yeah. What they went through and the immediate transition to what did they say, the mining guild or mining?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go watch it again and catch all the little things. But yeah, that instantly that group showed up and took over the town.
Yeah, definitely. It was exciting to see the transition from being held up in the town, and then actually coming back and some retribution, I guess.
Yeah, and I like how they got to the point with the armor. They didn't really like play, with your emotions so much. He just kind of said, "Hey, I took it. I found it. I bartered for it."
Well, yeah, and the way he bartered for it, I'm not sure if it's the same exact way in the books how he got the armor. I think I'm under the impression that he found it in the desert somewhere.
Mhm.
But the tie-in that with the Jawas making the trade with the Jawas was pretty cool.
So were they referring to the Sarlacc got eaten by the dragon?
That's what they said. That's pretty dang crazy to me.
So do you think the dragon spit it up at one point, and that's how it was collected?
Had to have been.
Because that the acid that was, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, the acid that was coming out of the dragon towards the end wasn't hurting the Mandalorian, right? No, he was
he was all up in there.
So yeah, I guess that's probably. I mean, if you really want to trace it back to the core, that's probably how they came about it.
Absolutely, yeah. Seeing that acid spill out on the Sand People, freaking insane. I would have loved if Disney could have, let us see the burned bodies.
It is Disney, I mean, I think they're going pretty far just for some of the fight scenes.
Oh yeah, the fight scenes are on point. Let's talk about the jetpacks, man. How awesome was that? Seeing them both fly off and go at the crate dragon. That was pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
I mean,
dope.
You didn't really see Boba Fett go off on a jetpack that many. I think just once in Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, it went off and he fell into a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, but I like how he staked him out and just hit it, and like it was.
Yeah, that was a good part. Nice little.
But I want to back up though. Did it blow you away that the Mandalorian knew how to speak Sand People?
Well, I want to say in the first episode or the first season, he spoke to the Sand People a little bit, I think, or I got it wrong. So it's exciting to see him be able to be bilingual with the different aliens and stuff, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I want to say it wasn't that it didn't catch me off guard so much.
One thing I missed: why is he on the search of the armor in the first place? What was the point of that?
It just happened to pop up. Remember, because he was looking for Mandalorians
right.
to help his cause, because they want to get that child back to his people.
And do you think they're going to get into that this season at all?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's going to find more Mandalorians, I'm sure.
And there's a whole planet of them, right? I mean, that was kind of the folklore.
That was the beginning. I guess the planet is Mandalore, and then right?
No, I'm talking about Yoda species.
Oh, nobody knows anything about Yoda species. Yeah. It's top secret. I don't even think George Lucas knows anything about the Yoda species.
I think he had a plan for it, possibly, but I think it's kind of open. It's open to kind of run with it, at this point.
I'm just thinking it's a planet full of force-sensitive green dwarfs. I mean, everyone we've ever seen has been force-sensitive.
You brought up a good point. I know we're jumping around, but we didn't see the child in The Force Awakenings. So, I mean, there's a grim side of it. The child could pass away, or he gets reunited with his kind.
Very anxious to see how it plays out, because I really I would really like for the child to be alive after Force Awakens and all the sequel trilogy. I definitely want to see.
But you think he would have been part of that battle, like for the good and evil of the end of Rise of Skywalker? I mean, that's the kind of part that
maybe. Well, hopefully, I guess the greater good of things is he gets returned to his planet and we don't hear from him again because he evolves.
Same thing with the Mandos, and they weren't no part of the last trilogy, so it kind of makes you wonder if they just kind of kept it themselves.
Yeah, that's another crazy thing. You don't even get no callbacks to it in any of from Force Awakens all the way to the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, you're right.
It would have been nice to. I know you only got a few hours in between movies and stuff, and they do a lot of flip flopping and different things. So. But it really would have been nice to know about, Star Wars lore.
Oh yeah, I think. I guess my main question is: do you think it's going to be addressed in the show?
Hope so.
It's got to be, because there's too many questions.
Too many questions. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, as the Sand People reunited with the Village People, what was the highlights of that battle?
Village People, they were doing YMCA together.
No, you know what I mean, like the town, the folk town folk. Yeah.
I think maybe after the situation and helping each other out, they'll start, working together, creating trade routes, different things.
Yeah, I think so too. And I wonder if he's going to kind of revisit Tatooine or leave it.
I'm sure he'll be back several times in this. I think I read somewhere or heard somewhere that Tatooine is a centric location
I imagine. Oh, one big Easter egg: the pod racer.
Oh my god.
I don't think it was Anakin's, but it was very similar.
We already know that Tatooine is, popular for pod racing, so it's a good callback to the prequels.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, you're gonna have like leftovers in a race, and salvage motors, and you could turn one motor into a speeder, which was kind of a cool idea.
Just seeing it right off the bat, I had episode 1 vibes.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, the circuits were pretty close to that area too. It just makes you wonder how close they were to Anakin's hometown.
Exactly, and if that turns out to be a piece of Anakin's pod racer, then that's an awesome callback.
And was there anything else that stood out to you as far as Easter eggs? Am I missing here?
I thought it was fun that when he got to Tatooine, he was talking to the
mechanic,
and the droids went out to fix the thing.
They were in
She's
episode
like,
1.
She don't like droids, and so they start heading back, and he's like, "No, it's okay if they check it out."
And they were all over. When I went back to watch episode 1, those mechanic droids, were all over. I didn't realize how.
Yeah, during the pod racing.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big part of that movie they were, and and I like with the Mandalorian kind of kept them looking the same too.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a nice little callback.
I feel like I missed something. There was another Easter egg though.
There was a lot of drawings, I think, in the cantina of like stormtroopers. Darth Vader, I think, was even on the wall. Watto, maybe.
I can see that because he was a famous, barter in that area.
Yeah, and then Tatooine just seems different without any kind of
conflict.
Well, yeah, and then Jabba's not there, so it's not as active as it previously was. It
seems like it's like a land for the taking. That's why those raiders
that's exactly
the vibe I got from it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So jump into the big spoiler. We got to see a certain somebody.
We're going to the end?
Yeah. Well, we'll come back, but I'm just saying, relating to Boba Fett.
Tamir Morrison shows up at the end. He could be a clone soldier, or he can be Boba Fett. What do you think? What do you think?
I think I'm going to go with the Boba Fett. I mean, it was pretty cool because...
That's where I'm leaning.
And when I was talking about it, kind of tricks you out because when he shows up in the cantina with the standoff vibe, you thought that was Boba Fett.
Yeah, and he's all scarred up, too, which could be a direct result of coming out of that Sarlacc pit.
But I like how they tricked you into thinking that you're already dismissing Boba Fett being alive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was the vibe I was getting, like, oh, Boba Fett's not going to be in this. But the only reason why I kind of felt faithful to it is because the casting we knew about.
Got to, yeah, definitely. We knew at some point he was either going to be Captain Rex or Boba Fett. So but it looks like he's going to be Boba Fett.
You think they're going to become friends? Do you think they're going to be against each other? He's going to want his armor back.
Definitely going to want his armor back. I think they're going to talk, of course. Will it result in conflict? We'll just have to see how it plays out.
At first, I believe so. It has to. So? Yeah,
it could be.
I think he might actually have information about the child, too.
But he also may claim the armor and tell his backstory, and we might get an explanation on how he's still alive, which would be totally awesome.
Yeah, and he's long due. I mean, I believe that character could probably run his own series or movies.
That's the talk, too, actually, with Disney Plus getting his own series. I don't know how factual that is, but I hear rumblings,
So far we have Obi-Wan, and that's a definite thing. And then what were the other ones in talks? So I'm kind of getting lost.
Ahsoka is a possibility, I'm understanding, and so is some kind of rebel situation, possibly Ezra Bridger, Sabine Wren, something to that effect.
Yeah, I think this is their opportunity to kind of pull it all together.
Absolutely. They throw back to like Filoniverse,
mm-hmm.
with regard to how Marvel does their thing with Kevin Feige. So it's an exciting time for Star Wars right now. So much content, so much opportunity to learn about your favorite characters and live action.
Well, I'm definitely going to watch the episode again, and I kind of want to go back and watch the first season because I kind of feel like I'm forgetting things already. But
I did go back and watch the last 2 episodes last night before I got into this.
Oh, really?
Definitely wanted to see the Darksaber again. And
speaking of that, what can you tell me about that saber? Because I don't know a whole lot about that.
So the first Mandalorian Jedi carried that Darksaber. That's what I know about that. Mm-hmm. It's passed down since. I guess after he passed away, it was passed down to Mandalorians that were, I guess, more geared towards leading the people. So I know Sabine Wren was holding it for a while, and then forget the other. There's another lady. Uh, I'm gonna get chastised for not knowing this.
I feel like I need a fact checker right here to check
Yeah,
this.
definitely.
Yeah.
So Sabine Wren is one. I know Maul had it for a while. And I just wish I knew who that other person that had it was.
I'm sure that the lore of it's going to come out. I mean, I think that sword's going to be like the mystical weapon in the show.
Oh yeah, they're already selling that thing at Walmart.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna be everywhere.
I know, but do you think it's going to fall on Mando's hand or the child's hands?
Oh no. I don't see it going to the child at all.
Shoka?
Maybe not. It's going to a Mandalorian. Is probably where it'll go.
So, if you had to put money on who you think is going to end up training the child,
well, if he stays with the Mandalorian, then it's hands down. Well, I think they get him back to the place where he lives. I think we're going to find out about the Yoda species in the Mandalorian.
That's what I was getting to earlier. I think there's a whole other world of that, and I mean,
yeah, I don't think a Jedi trains him. I think he goes back home to his people, and then we're going to find out that there's some giant planet with Yodas everywhere.
Well, I mean, it kind of irks me when people say Baby Yoda.
Well,
I make it a conscious habit to say the child.
I left the baby out.
No, not you. I'm just saying. But in episode 1 and 2, we saw the female one.
Oh yeah, everybody was going crazy. Yaddle.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously they're open to having more than one in the universe. It wasn't like Yoda was exclusive at one point. It was just rare. I say very rare. And is every of that species force sensitive?
Who knows? But it is looking like that might be the thing. Mm-hmm. Or what if it's like every generation you get a Yoda pops up, in the world or in the universe?
Yeah.
And it's like an isolated species, and
makes me wonder if they're just winging it.
So in the beginning of Star Wars, you would say that, yeah, they're just winging it.
Episode 4, yeah.
As things get more popular, then they're
I think
creating.
Halfway through Empire Strikes Back, they're like, all right, we got something.
We got something here.
Obviously, with the sibling rivalry that was kind of going on there. They didn't know exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And then with Fett too, they were like, damn it, we killed this guy too early, because his armor, when you first see him, his armor is amazing compared to anything else you see. Like nothing else looks as cool as the Mandalorian does,
Yeah. But whatever happened to his dad's armor?
Django?
Yeah.
That I don't know. I'm sure there's a story. I'm sure there's an expanded universe.
Because Mace finished him off, right?
Cut his head right off his body.
Yeah. That's another character we don't even know if it's alive or not.
Mace?
Well, at this point in the Mandalorian, yeah, he's probably not alive.
We're going to go there?
Well, we're not going to go there. We'll touch it in another episode. I mean, we probably could do an episode just on Mace Windu.
I want, just so we're clear and we know where we stand, I would love to see Mace Windu back in the Star Wars universe. Like, of course, battle damaged, but I think he could have survived that fall.
Yeah, I mean, Jedi's fall.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the point. They're like Nine lives like a cat.
It would be so cool to have an episode where like this mysterious figure comes out of nowhere and he's half bionic because he fell from so far.
So the first thing I can take from the gather from episode 9, the first season, is it's going to be. I think it's going to be a really good season. I mean, I think it's going to outdo the first season, in my opinion, because we're already introduced to the concepts.
There was so much talk about this season being a failure because of the rumors and stuff about the actor that portrays the Mandalorian wanting his face shown more often and stuff like that. And then a lot of people were thinking that the episodes were trash because they weren't giving us good spoilers. But this episode has me excited for the season. I'm ready to go.
So, we hopefully will be able to do a review of every episode, but the thing about Nostalgia Hunter, we're going to be looking back into current stuff as well. If there's any movies you guys want us to talk about or any shows, we'd be happy to go over with them. Any other ideas what we're going to be going over, Chris?
Anything and everything. We're thinking about doing the Wanda universe.
Absolutely.
On the Disney.
Not thinking about it. We're going to do it.
Well, yeah, we're going to do it, folks. We're going to do it, and then whatever else comes out, we're definitely going to do Obi-Wan when it comes out. Got to.
That's my favorite Jedi.
Yeah, I'm right there with you with that. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited to just get to see how he came up and what he went through on Tatooine. So, anything and everything. And please, if you have any suggestions and you'd like to hear us review or just even talk about.
And video games as well. I know Chris isn't as much a gamer as I am, but I do talk a lot of video games with Chris, and I'd be happy to go over that as well.
We'll dig into it. We will dig into it.
All right, so what's the best place to reach out to you, Chris?
You can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, Geek Shots, or even the Nostalgia Hunter page.
And that's one, not to interrupt you, but you're also a toy photographer as well, and you do excellent stuff. I highly recommend everyone check out his stuff on Instagram and Facebook. Now, obviously, another way to connect to him. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in front of you.
No. I'm getting better and better every time I go out and take shots, so it's just a labor of love, I guess you could say.
All right, so that was our first episode, a little bit of a short one, but they're going to get longer, and we hopefully to get at least one or two a week for you guys. Thank you, and I appreciate it.